Hey, it's Samantha Hartley with the Profitable Joyful Consulting Podcast. This season, we've been talking about the brand called You. And today, I wanted to talk about what to do in your work when you are just not feeling it, not feeling like working. This week, I learned a great thing, which is how to make an amaryllis rebloom, as you'll see in my background. It turns out that the answer all this time was put it in the basement for 4 months and forget about it. Recently, we were just down there walking around and we came upon it and I was like, look at this gorgeous thing reblooming. And we have 4 or 5 of them and they're all around the house and they're making me incredibly happy. So you know I am huge on having things around yourself that are energy raisers, that make you feel good and positive. We talked last time with Nancy about the importance of feeling positive and having positivity in your business. But sometimes you are depressed, maybe like clinically depressed. Sometimes you don't feel well. You just don't feel good. You're bummed out. So there's a range of ways that we can feel with our mental health. It can be from burnout, from just pushing yourself too hard. And it can be from, chemical imbalances and things like that. And whatever brings this on for you, maybe there's grief and loss, which we've been dealing with so much over the past few years. Either way, when you get into a situation where in your business, you just don't feel like it, what do you need to do? So specifically today, I'm going to talk about like the things that you can do in your business to keep it going. If you are absolutely unable to work, then you stop working. Just stop and take care of yourself. There's nothing more important than taking care of yourself. And that's really the first point that I want to make here. You are the brand. That's the theme of the season, but also you are the business. If there's no you, there's no business. So you have to prioritize taking care of yourself. And yes, we've all heard the oxygen mask thing. But if you are in a situation where you can't do something, then you've got to be able to, first of all, admit that and acknowledge that and maybe the answer isn't I can't. Maybe it's you could push through if you wanted to. Many times people have said they had no choice. Like I had to just take time off because I had no choice. We always have a choice. You can drive yourself to, the brink of death, but you are choosing at some point to stop that and to take care of yourself. So if you're not feeling it, whether it's Friday and I just don't care anymore, whether it's Monday morning, you want a slow start to the week, or whether it is just like right now, I can't do this. What is the least you can do in your business and still have it be viable? So that's the thing that I want to talk to you about today, because it is a legit place that you may be in your business from time to time. And if you're there frequently, this is a thing to learn about yourself. First of all, stop pushing yourself to that level. But if you find that there's just like so much going on in your life that work can't be all consuming and you need to moderate your participation in it, then these are the things that I want you to do and pay attention to. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to look at your business and figure out what is essential. What are the essential tasks and activities, and define what that means, essential. So over the past couple of years with COVID, we've realized that there are jobs and workers who are essential, and we've designated them as essential workers, without whom our society doesn't function. Our whole system and way of life doesn't function without them. And so we identified who was essential. And if you look at your business, what are the things that, if you can do the minimum in your business, these are the things which you should be doing. These are the essential things. So what I would identify as essential in your business is delivery. If you have commitments to clients and you have things that you need to be doing for them or with them, then delivery is going to be a priority. You can cancel almost everything else, but probably delivery, if you can and are able to work, then that's a thing that you want to keep doing. The other thing is regular things that happen, the absence of which would be noticeable. So for example, if you have weekly calls, or if you have a regular newsletter, or things like that, this podcast, it needs to happen. It needs to be released every single week. What are those activities for you that you need to be doing on an ongoing basis? What about social media? Well, here's the interesting thing. I'm sure you've seen people post on social media, I'm taking a break and I'm going to be away for this amount of time. You don't need to give an explanation for that. You can just say, I'm going to be away. Similarly, you can do in your emails an out of office message. I'm going to be out of office from this time to this time. Nobody needs to know if it's vacation or if it's a mental health day or if it's a mental health week or if it's just like I'm sick of everything and everyone and I don't want to do anything. So keep in mind that we already are establishing as a society that there are things that we do when we're going to step back. So do the essential things and let go of the things that are non-essential. Had a client recently who had this specific situation in her business, really needed to step away and take care of her mental health. And the interesting thing she said to me was, other people looking in would never know that this had gone on in my business. Like you'd never know if you didn't know from the inside. So if you want to be private about it, you can keep that all in and nobody ever needs to know about it. So these are some of the ways that you can do that without causing too much impact on your business. You can take care of yourself and step back away from it without causing too much impact. So next thing, here's your focus. You want to focus on low effort, high ROI activities. Which are those? So we talked about the essential ones. Well, of all of the things that could be essential, how do I know what's essential? It's low effort and high ROI or high impact. So for example, following up. If you're following up with someone, if you're checking in with someone, those are things that you can do because those are continuing things that are already in progress. Showing up. Right? Where there's a previously scheduled meeting or there's an activity or something like that I show up for. If you can show up for it, do. Here's what we're not doing. New things. If you are in a place where you need to rest and you're just not feeling it, then don't start anything new. You're not in starting energy. You're not in like, let's get up and go. It's not launch energy. Like you're in a yin phase and not a yang phase. So allow yourself to just be in that. No new activities. This is the thing I've had to do with myself for many years because I get energized around a new thing and I get excited about the new thing. And so when I'm really depleted, I think, hey, a good way to go get some energy would be to go do that new thing. And it's like, no. We are not doing anything right now. We are just taking care of things we have already in progress. And then we're going to do new things once we're well, right? Once we're whole again, once we're back to the closest to 100% that we ever get. Okay, so that's a way to just take care of yourself. Years ago, somebody said to me, treat mental health days like physical health days. So if you're not feeling well, and sometimes we're not, take care of yourself as if you were sick. So this specifically came up one time around foods. They said, what are sick foods for you? Like, what do you want to eat when you're sick that makes you feel comforted? So for me, it's like Campbell's chicken noodle soup. I don't even have it in the house. Actually, I have it in the house for when I'm sick. And we don't eat that. That's not a thing I eat. But when I'm sick, do you know what I want? I want Campbell's chicken noodle soup out of the can. And applesauce. So I'll go buy the jar of applesauce, and those are the things that I want when I'm taking care of myself, when I'm not feeling well. If you are having these kind of days you're not feeling it, or weeks when you're not feeling it, and you want to take care of yourself, how do you take care of yourself when you're sick? Is it, I'm wearing these kinds of clothes, I have this kind of tea, I have these kinds of foods, I invite my mom to come over and tend to me, and I receive the care and comfort from others around me. That's what I want you to do. I want you to say, and I'm doing quotation marks here, even though I'm just not feeling it, I'm going to treat myself as if I'm physically not sick. Here's why I say this. Because so many people, especially women, will only actually allow themselves to take care of themselves. They'll only lie down. They'll only rest when they're so legitimately, again, quote unquote, sick that there's no other option. So you have to give yourself the grace to say, even though I just don't feel like working, even though, again, in quotation marks, it's only like I'm just feeling mentally just not great. You have to say, listen, I'm going to treat myself as if I had like full-on flu or bronchitis or something. We tend to care for ourselves when we do have those kind of illnesses. And again, many of us don't, right? How many people do you know who had this thing that turned into walking pneumonia, that turned into bronchitis, that turned into something worse? too many people. So don't be that. Again, your business needs you to take care of yourself. I want to offer you a reframe on how you think about your role in the business during times like this. When you're just not feeling it, that leader of your business, the go-getter, the king or queen or hunter or warrior who's out there leaning in, like how can we lean back instead? Can we give that person, that leader, a chance to step aside over here and rest? And we'll appoint a steward. A steward is one who kind of takes care of, right? They steward the gifts, they steward the things that we've been given, they steward the business, and they take care of it for when that one comes back. So if you can imagine in yourself the aspect of you which can say, listen, I'm just going to take care of this thing until the leader, the go-getter, is ready to come back and pick it up again. So during that time, we're doing those essential things. We're not taking on a bunch of new stuff. We're not doing that outbound energy, that exertion energy, and we're just tending to and taking care of. I think it will show you a little bit of the relationship that I want you to have to that aspect of yourself and to the business. Listen, some of us are partners with other people in businesses, and we know that they rely on us. And this is a time to say, here's what I need to be doing for myself at this time. I'm going to take care of it, but this is all I can do right now. I need to take care of me. And when you take care of it to this extent, you prevent yourself from having to take off entirely and be completely out of the game. The last thing I want to share with you is the opportunity that you can take right now when you are feeling it to prepare for times when you aren't. So one of the biggest gifts that you can give to yourself, to future you, is to create leverage in your business. And leverage for me is tools, team, systems. So can you put in place systems that at least part of the work in the business is automated and can happen without you? Can you have team members who, if you're unavailable, they can take up the slack and they can do a lot of this stuff without you so that you can show up and do your part only? The least that needs to be done is the showing up by you. So there's a whole machine that makes this podcast happen. And I show up and I do this part. So if I were not feeling it, I wouldn't have to come up with texts and write things and edit videos and put them out there and understand all of the technology. I just need to show up and do my part. So that's a system that I've built in advance. Then I can pre-record these. We pre-record these in advance. So the one that you're seeing now was recorded weeks ago. So if the week that you're viewing this, I'm not feeling it and I can't come to work, I have a little buffer time in there of pre-recorded episodes that can go out until I'm back and feeling myself again. So the greatest gift that you can give yourself is to really think in advance. What if I'm sick for 2 weeks? Mentally, physically, with someone who needs my time or effort. I need to go take care of something for my kids or my mom. Or plenty of times in the last 2 years, there has been so much going on in the news that I couldn't work. I could not put in my 100% of effort. And I've created the business which says I can take a day away. I could probably take a week away and things would operate without me. So put that in place for yourself. Think about what are the things that I can build? What are the structures I can build? The SOPs, the standard operating procedures, the systems, and what's the team that I can put in place so that if I need to do this unexpectedly, the structure will support my doing that. And that will help you if the time ever comes to feel like you can allow yourself, again, the grace to take care of yourself in that moment and not force yourself to show up and do stuff when it's not good for you to do so. Listen, your impact is so important. The work that you do for your clients in the people that they serve is so valuable that we need you to be your best. And we need that physically, mentally, emotionally, in all the ways, energetically, spiritually. So take care of yourself. And I hope that what I've shared today will inform your choices when you're thinking about how to prepare for anything that might happen, anything that might come. If nothing else, man, has this past 2 years shown us, like, things can happen that can really sap our desire to like be in the work. Like suddenly the thing that seems so central to our lives and so important got a little bit diminished relative to all the other things that need to happen in our lives. So I hope that you will take away some actions that you can do, and that you're never forced to push yourself, and you can always prioritize taking care of yourself. And with that, I wish you a profitable and joyful consulting business. Thanks for watching. I'd appreciate if you'd like this episode, and if you enjoyed the show, why not subscribe? Be sure to click the bell to get notified when new episodes drop.